I selected a journal about human resources management that dealt with employee choice based on the finding of the research that was done. David Eagles of Birkbeck College, University of London, is the author of this paper. This article objective is to take things a step further. It is predicated on the idea that any concept for how HRM affect company and employee results should be equal a growing body of research in the broad topic of HR. Examine the connection between HRM and performance, frequently combining elements of business and HR strategy. Next, the goal is to simplify the hard business case for HR to the exception that HR offers a novel approach to managing personnel in the workplace that it is catered on fostering greater commitment from employees. This article also discusses soft and hard HRM. Soft HRM focusing mostly on corporate performance, which is likely to encourage concurrent attention to employee outcome. The hard version, which explicitly portrays worker as another key resource the manager should use to their advantage, is most prevalent in the writing of American author whose primary goal is to advance the importance of human resources management. This article also discussed the practice of treating staff legally as asset or object, which appeals to some managers if only to serve as a reminder of elder underutilization of potential resource. The fact the HRM has favorable relationship with performance is the publication positive element. Partnership or stakeholder approach prioritize results that affect more than just manager and are of interest to a large group participant. The utilitarian viewpoint which seek the greatest good for the greatest number and is possible for employee as an object as a means so long as the aim benefit for the majority necessitate the study of how employees respond to HRM. The uses of soft HRM is frequently linked with favorable outcome for the workforce, and this suggests that HR acted on a moral level rather than in a more utilitarian manner. This is the second good feature of the article. Finally, given that the rule is concerned with the treating employee with respect, it should check employee feedback as is rather than reinterpreting it. The question of whether HRM can treat is a potential issue that needs to be taken into account to accommodate a more radical perspective. Although this page also has its critique, it is feasible to claim that any position response from workers should be rejected because it must adhere to the definition of the meaning that has been purchased by the workforce. As a result of failing to consider the employee emotion seriously, this perspective cannot be tested in the end, leave worker enabled to act decisively and deal with several unsolvable issues. When HRM turns in blind eyes to employee, it ends up being more offensive to them than any management action. Additionally, as I already indicated, it disregards HR obligation to suggest workable alternative and the right of employee. Summarize the article. A growing body of research on the broad topic of human resources management explores the link between the management of HR and performance, frequently taking into account both corporate strategy and HR. However, soft HR would be more likely if business efficiency was also a top objective, which would support a parallel interest in employee performance. The hard version, which are mainly rejected in American writing, serves to highlight the importance of HR strategy. This is a soft version of HRM that caught the attention of critic analysis mainly because it is seen as more subtle and potentially insidious. But in reality, they also just to take advantage of employees by subtly controlling their attitude and beyond build for them a picture of reality that is reflected in the organization culture. As for the workers' view, the radical critique operates in something of vacuum because there is a lack of adequate information regarding worker perception of HRM. The second strategy can reject gain for both employee and company. The second approach, known as a stakeholder perspective, aims to ensure an equity distribution of results, but in legal opinion, still run the risk of treating employee like means. Last but not least, a Kantian theological viewpoint favors legislation based on an idea of moral right and is more inclined to see employee as end in themselves. A survey of worker reactions to HRM. The purpose of the study presented below is the evaluation of employees in relation to their current employment, including the evaluation experience in human resources management. Second, we may determine how effective HR policies are influencing employee view and behavior by contrasting the attitude of those who report their exactness to those who have no experience. On an individual level, we could consider human resources and other policies affecting management evaluation of employee policies and practice. After that, among the studies done on employee decision are first, worker report on the adoption of human resources, second, worker report on outcome, third, HRM in the real world, the physical contract function. Finally, it appears that workers are content with their HRM experience. There are various education that things have entered since, say, the time period around 1990, which leak analysis is based on. Therefore, the critical analysis need to be revised. This is a chance that in a post-Marxist, postmodernist setting, the non-empirical stream of critical analysis will not take employee response and data in general too seriously. The world be unfortunate since it is critical to maintain a critical analysis. The question boosts the rhetoric and the reality. Critique journal straight. The author attempts to demonstrate the importance of the relationship between the quantity of reported HR practice and the variety of employee outcome. Is one of the journal merit, where the author has disclosed to the reader the method and data used to obtain decision for employee about HRM or employee view in detail, where readers can get information about the method used through case data for employee view, employee reaction survey to HRM, employee report on the use of HRM, employee report on the present of HR practice and others. So indirectly, when this problem can be ignored and explained in detail, the reader can study and list the problem and be able to answer all the questions that cause problem between employee and HR. Next, the straightforward in this journal is where the author insert empirical support data for his journal, where through the empirical data, the form of this table, the reader can see in detail the result of the study when tabulated. This is because it can be clearly seen how many employees support the information of the study conducted and also those who do not support the information of the study. Journal weakness. Among the weaknesses found in this journal is that the author composed the journal incompletely and also irregularly, where this journal is written does not have a division of the story between the introduction, important content, and also conclusion. In addition, this journal is also incomplete as the author does not state the abstract in the journal. Next, the weakness found in the journal is that the use of language, word, and term in this journal is high, where this journal uses language as some words that are difficult for the reader to understand and also cause not being able to know the true meaning of the sentence when there are words that are not understood. Therefore, the writer needs to change some words, the high language, to language that is easy for everyone to understand readers. Contribution of the author in the journal. The author contribution to this journal is the when the author assesses the relationship between the number of HR practice report and the range of employee performance. It is an eyes open for employee and all organizations within the company. Therefore, this author made a great contribution to the well-being of all employees when employees know the impact, consequences, and action to be taken and also have a made this evaluation in order to maintain the ratio of the number of HR practice to employees. Contradiction in this journal. This magazine also contains contradiction to solve HRM, a fresh strategy and new employee concern are mentioned by management, but the legislation asserts the reality is harsher and human resources management is ineffective. This article has a contradiction between Garagan and Stewart and Scott. Support or not support the author's statement. I agree with the thesis put forth by Scott 1994, according to which it is challenging for both management and employees to let go of their long-standing adversarial relationship, since Story, who developed to Michigan management model, and Harvard 1960, who state the soft HRM is a method related to emotion, feeling, and motivation. I feel that hypothesis to be correct, managers must work to maintain their motivation and give them the tools they need to reach their full potential. This demonstrates how challenging it is to preserve the relationship between HR and employees, and how much more so when there is conventional antagonist and cause employees emotional and feeling to be unquestioned. Conclusion. In conclusion, staff responses are not just a means of understanding the relationship between practices and outcome, but an end in themselves. The results also show that those who report being influenced by more HR practice may also report a more positive physical contract. This magazine also covers soft human resources management, and its main focus is also on company performance, likely supporting a parallel concept for employee performance. The hard version is mainly reflected in the work of American author whose main goal is to promote and role of HR strategy, as it clearly presents employees as the net great asset for manager to exploit.